Greetings and welcome back to TED Talks and Bowen's Garage. This is another Bowen's budget beauty that has arrived with us, and the title sort of lended itself. The title wrote itself, to be honest, so I thought I've got to do a video on this little car that's arrived with us. We sell lots of them, have done for years and years. We're big Are we big fans? Have I given the game away early doors? Keep watching, you'll find out. So let's have a look. Smart ForTwo. What a little machine. Made by Mercedes, in theory. A Smart ForTwo. This is a Cabriolet. It's a 1 litre Passion is the spec, with an automatic gearbox. It has done 28,000 miles. Just landed with us. 2014 on a 14 plate. Perfect for the summer. Ready to rock and roll. Condition wise, we actually bought this one into retail, and if you keep watching you'll find out what happened with it. Condition wise, it was nice. Couple of little nibbles on the wheels. Continental tyres all round with really good tread. So as soon as you see a car of this age with matching premium branded tyres that are all in really good shape, you know you've got a fighting chance. Little scratch on the wing there, which will touch in better than it has done. We have got the proper colour for this. You've got the grey mirror caps, or silver grey mirror caps, and also the silver grey pillars as well, which I think contrasts the nice metallic blue quite nicely. Again, a little nibble on the wheel there. They don't take long to polish these, I must say. All round the back's good. This side's fine. It has had some paint in its life. Just under this line here, we believe. It's just a little bit darker. You can probably see, on a car that's 11 years old, almost every car in the world at this age has had paint. Wheels on this side are good. Bonnet all round the front's nice. Obviously got our number plates on it now. Roof's in good condition. Now there is a lot of quirks to these cars. They take a bit of getting used to. If you're a retailer and you're watching this and you've never had one, get one, try one, but there are a few quirks that you need to be aware of, more so on the inside than the outside. They just take a little bit of getting used to. Inside's fine, mechanics have been in and out of it, so it's a little bit dirty, but you got cloth seating, 2 seats obviously. However, behind there you do have this little loading net, so you can put all your shopping and bits and bobs in there, or maybe some bananas, or I don't know. 2 seats, normal handbrake. That's pretty much where the normal sort of stuff stops, really. 2 big doors, obviously. You do get electric front windows on this Passion model. You get some little side nets. Steering wheel with nothing on it. But then you get manual handbrake, yeah, and then the keys don't go where normal keys go. They go down here. This one has got 2. This takes a lot of getting used to. This is quite a setup. First one of these I had, it took me about a week to get it, to figure out how to drive it properly. Electric roof, which is nice. Eco button, couple of cup holders, 12-volt socket. Air conditioning, nice and straightforward up above. You've got a clock and a rev limiter, or rev counter, should I say. Little glove box at the top. Loads of space in these, actually. Obviously it is only a 2-seater, but you do get plenty of room. So to start it, foot on the brake, obviously you only get 2 pedals. And it takes a little bit of a while to want to start. Now, engine is in the back. There's your mileage, 28890. Now, to put it in from neutral, which you're in now, foot on the brake, you have to go across. Now if you knock it across once, like that, automatic mode. Now you've got a button on the side here, push that, it goes into 1, so you're now into a manual mode. and then you can start to use the plus and the minuses if you'd like to go up and down the gears. So obviously when you're on the road. So if you just keep it in A, so again push the button, now you're in A. That's automatic. That'll just drive like a normal automatic, sort of like a normal automatic. It changes gear sort of manually, so there's a bit of a delay, a bit of a, as if you were dipping the clutch and changing gear manually. It sort of does it like that, and then you push the button again, you're into 1, and then you can use the arrows to go up and down and change gear whenever you like, really. So there's a few different options. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, and then reverses across back into neutral, then down, and that's your reverse. So they do take a bit of getting used to, these. Infotainment, we've got radio, we've got Bluetooth, we've also got satellite navigation built in on this one, which is nice. I suppose you all want to see the roof go down, don't you? So let's have a look. Very straightforward. And then you've got 2 options, so it's got that first bit where it stops, and then you've got the full flip down mode there. That can come back up. Very simple 1-button approach, so that's easy. So it's one setting, and then you keep holding the button and it'll come back all the way forwards. There we go. So not only are they rear-engined, but they're also rear-wheel drive, which is quite cool. Oh, what have we got going on here? Oh dear. Talk amongst yourselves. Just breaking that, don't worry. Just breaking the locking wheel. It does have a locking wheel nut key. This was the secret compartment I was going to show you. There we go. So that closes, so you've got a separate loading area under there with all your bits and bobs, and then you've got a really good size flat load space actually, so it's surprisingly big, and the engine is under here, so that's where you service it. This takes up to 100 kilos, so you can sit on there as like a little perch if you want a little picnic and whatever. So it's a really well thought out little car. I think it's had 3 former keepers, really good service history. So yeah, all it remains for us to do is take it on the all-important road test. Right, welcome to the inside of the smart ForTwo passion wagon. We are in automatic mode, fully automatic. We've got eco button on. We'll switch that off so we can have all the power this little baby's got to offer. I think it's around 70-ish horsepower. It's a 0.9. I think they're a 0.9. We have always found that's wind noise that you can hear in the background there, because it's quite an angular shape, very angular. Obviously, you get a bit of, as James May would used to say, buffeting. The wind just hits the front, doesn't it? We've made it through the junction of peril. So yeah, I think it's 70 odd brake horsepower, rear wheel drive, rear engined. Now if you said that to most people, that would be like, bloody hell, he's in a Porsche 911. You can call this a Porsche 911 if you'd like to. I apologise, I've got the stand for the phone on there as best I can. It's not going to be great because it's a bit of a wobbly ride. It does pull through the gears absolutely fine. This is not a luxurious vehicle. Okay, so the ride is crashy, I would say. You're quite upright. Seats aren't too bad, nice and comfortable. The gearbox takes a little bit getting used to. I don't know if you saw me going, ooh. Let's try it. Here we go, and now it will change. Will it change? There, and you just get a little, but it goes through all the gears absolutely fine. You do feel like you're in a small car, and you do feel like you could topple over at any moment, but I'm assured that you won't, and we've had lots of these and nobody has ever tipped one over yet. I'll say this, I'm sure the guy's not watching, but if he is, since we've been doing distance sales, which for those of you who don't know about distance sales, so when COVID came in, we could only sell cars remotely, and that then came under the Distance Sale Act, which means if you don't tell people that they've got 14 days to return the product, then they can actually have up to a year to return the product. But that was how we were having to sell cars through COVID, and subsequently any distance sale. So if we sell a car that goes 200 miles up the road, and they haven't been to see it, and the deal's all been concluded sort of off-site or remotely, then they do have 14 days to return the vehicle to us. Anyway, we've sold, I don't know how many, 200, 250 cars that way, maybe more, and we've only ever had one come back, and it was one of these. And the reason I will tell you after we've given it a clobbering down the dual carriageway here. So let's see. Foot is welded to the floor. It is actually, that's 55 miles an hour. You might see a bit of a delay there. I'm probably going to have to shout. The wind noise is terrible. That's 60. We're going to make it to 70. There we go. That's 70 miles an hour. Fearing for my life. It's not too bad. It is quite windy today, which is why you can hear that. The wind smashing against the front of the car. What I will do, I will go back through Ross, because I think it'll be slightly less windy than trying to battle with it coming down here. So back to my story about the only distance sale that we've ever had come back. It was on one of these, and we had the car delivered to the gentleman. And unfortunately, he couldn't fit in it. And the car, he was more than happy with. The condition, everything about it, he was more than happy with. He just physically couldn't drive it. Couldn't get in to drive it. Which was a shame. So that's the only one we've ever had come back, and it's one of these. But I will say these are really popular with us. Every single one of these we do sell very quickly, and this one was very much the same. If you've watched my weekly roundup, I covered this car very briefly. You'll notice that the car came into stock last Wednesday, and by lunchtime on Thursday, the car was sold, and it's going sort of 2.5 hours away down to Buckinghamshire. What you will find with these is that the vast majority of people who are buying them have already had one, already got one, or it's just something that they've always wanted, because they are a bit quirky, they are different, they are niche, they are still really practical. So like you saw in the boot space, because it's above the engine, you've got loads of room back there. If there's only two of you and you haven't got passengers, obviously really small, ideal for parking. The only one criticism I would have with town driving is the turning circle for a car of this size is awful. Honestly, it's like trying to turn a ferry. The turning circle is really bad for what you think would just turn on a sixpence. It doesn't. But they do have their uses. You've got plenty of room in the front, you've got a nice high driving position, visibility is absolutely fine, they come with a nice specification, they're 20 quid to tax, or this model is. Yeah, they have a certain market, and if you're looking for a very small car, that you're not going to want to be going 4 hours up the motorway in one of these particularly, or if you are, not very often. It's just not that sort of car. Like I say, the ride's not fantastic, but it's not built for that. It's built for town driving. It's built for being in cosmopolitan areas. They're cheap to run, so they do really have their uses. And like I say, they've always been really pubs busy again. As soon as the sun comes out, Ross and Wide turns into an absolute holiday paradise. It really does. But yeah, they are real box stickers if you're after a properly small car. The smallest, I think, these days, probably. And and like I say, they've always been super popular with us. Every one of them, I don't think we've ever had one more than a couple of weeks. And we've had all sorts. We've had manual models, we've had automatic ones, we've had convertibles, we've had the newer shape. We've had the newer shape 4.4s. We've had plenty of the newer shape 4.2s. I really like those. They are cool. So the model that superseded this one. And they're not overly expensive. So I just think if you're in the market for something like this, and obviously there's not huge amounts of them available, I think that's why they're popular. Personally, I don't like them at all. I can see their uses, just not the sort of car that I'm going to be wanting to drive about, personally. But I'm not everybody, and that is the beauty of the motor trade. There are cars out there for everybody. There is a bum for every seat, as they say. And it just so happens that people who have had these tend to carry on liking them and buying them because they just fit, you know, what they need. The wind noise is quite annoying up at speed, but again, like I say, it's like a really square shape at the front, but plenty of room. They're not actually too difficult to service. You just take the cover off at the back and away you go. The rest of it's pretty normal stuff. So this one, like I say, it came in Wednesday. We sold it Thursday. It's getting delivered to Buckingham this coming Thursday. So we've done a full service. I think we've done a full service on the car. I don't think it needed very much, actually. Oh, I'll tell you what it did need. There was a very slight, and the customer noticed it because obviously he's had one before, so he knew what he was looking for. It had a very slight weep from what looked around the gearbox. It's the drive shaft seal. So we've got one of those arriving tomorrow. So that's the final job for this one, and it's MOT'd and everything else and ready to rock and roll. So straight in, straight out. It's a 14 plate. It's done just shy of 29,000 miles. Passion model, like I say, and it's convertible. So you've got the electric roof, you've got satellite navigation. It was £6,000, which I don't think is out of the way at all. I think it was fair price on Auto Trader, as most of our cars are. So to summarise, as I'm trying not to crash it into stuff as we go around the back of the garage here. To summarise, if you're after a smart car, smart cars are great. And I can certainly see the appeal if this is exactly what you need. In terms of space, if you don't need rear seats, if you just want something for zipping about with pretty economical running costs, then it ticks a lot of boxes. And they are quite funky to look at. They certainly make people look, and you can get them in all sorts of colour combinations, which is quite cool. Not for me personally. You can see I'm wrestling with the steering here. It is not the easiest thing to drive. I think because it's so small, it's actually, when you're parking, you're like, you park and you're about 2 miles away from everything else. It does take a bit of getting used to. It's that small, and you don't really get really small cars anymore. Cars are huge, aren't they? So if you're after a properly small car with a nice level of specification, cheap running cost, and you just want to zip about and you don't want to be going up and down on the motorway, then I can see why they're so popular with us. I think it's a thumbs up from me, actually. I was negative about the one the other day. I could find things to be negative about this one, but I actually quite like it. And they sell really well for us, so then I really do like it. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give us a thumbs up, share it if you want to, and do subscribe to the channel. There'll be more of these sort of things to come. In fact, I've got another convertible that's a bit random arriving in about an hour and a half's time. So you'll probably get a video on that later in the week as well. Thanks very much, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.